Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Mokgadi and the platform is the Red Table with Mokgadi. And I'd like to so much appreciate you for subscribing, for commenting, and please share our videos. I so much appreciate. And today we've got Amen Ricoto, and I'm just going to let him introduce himself. Feel free to introduce yourself, and let's just get into the story.
Thank you to all the viewers and listeners. Amen, Ricotta.
Hmm.
I'm stronger. Yeah, so I'm all the way from Guyana, Ipompo, but I'm currently based in Krugersdorp. And also I'm the founder of Revisi Wamazani, so we'll be launching it in September this year. It's more like a forum. We'll be dealing with the issues that are affecting men. But you can't talk about men or talk about families and the community. Yeah, so yeah, we keep studying it.
Please share with us, where did you grow up and how was it like in the home that you were brought up?
Mm. I grew up in Elim. There's a village called Washinyamani. So Washinyamani means small meat. but it doesn't mean that you like it small. You like it big. So yeah, so I'm the last born of Elias and Fakisa Record. They're both late now. Elias died when in 2000, but I always say that he died in 1991. I will elaborate the story.
Yeah.
So, and then we four kids, my brother, the firstborn, Joe, and then there's my two late sisters, Mina and Togo. Mina died at the age of 10. She was poisoned at school. And then Togo died 2021. She was killed by her lover at home. Yeah, and that's me. So growing up was very challenging because I remember when I started school in 1991. My dad was based this side, and then we were that side with our mom. So our dad
So your father was in Gauteng?
was in Gauteng working this side, and then my mom was the one taking care of us at home.
Yes.
So it is a bit challenging because I have never like visited him this side. So he was the one coming, during
Home
school
all the
holidays.
time, yes.
No, back then it was only Easter and festive. The relationship was not that,
Okay, it
so
wasn't that close.
yeah, it wasn't that close. So what happened in 1991? He was working this side. So what happened is he was working in this cement company dealing with chemicals. So somehow I don't know what happened, but it was injured on duty. So he was rushed to hospital somewhere around Tokoza. So, but what happened is the company car dropped him at the reception at the hospital. So now he was like was very sick, so he couldn't talk at that time.
She couldn't explain what was wrong.
What was wrong, and also his name. So then, when they opened the file, because they had to open a file for administration purposes, they gave him a name.
Okay.
So and then they worked on him. So now the family decide they don't know what's happening with him. And it took months became years.
Became years.
Yes. So because that happened in 1991, but it was later found in 1994. So what happened? They had to discharge him. But now no family is coming forward.
Discharge him to where?
Yeah. So now they took him to a home because I mean they had to involve the social workers. So they took him to a home somewhere in Ranfontein. We found him.
But let's backtrack a bit. So he was rushed to hospital. Your father was
Yes.
rushed to hospital, and
From work.
From work, and then left at the reception of the hospital.
Yes.
With not even talking to the hospital
They
staff
just
to
dropped
say
him
that
there.
we've got a patient who is.
They just dropped him there.
And that is the boss at work?
It was like a big company. Like a big company.
That we cannot mention.
Yeah, that we cannot mention. Yeah. So then they dropped him there, like I indicated. So there was no name and everything. So they had to give a name just for administration purposes.
Of course.
Then when they had to release him now, they had to involve the social workers and then took him to a home this side. Remember the story happened somewhere in East Trent? Then we got a home in Radfontein. So 1994, early 1994, that's how they got to know where he was because they've been searching the whole time.
But now you're at home. And what are you thinking? Where is your father?
We don't know. Like we know that he's lost somewhere. Like, being a child sometimes you lost bond. They don't involve you in such matters. You only just hear people whispering. Then now that gives you that anxiety.
Something is happening.
Because now you don't have the story. So now you're more inquisitive because you want to know what's happening, but there's no one coming forward to tell you what's real. Obviously, it will affect you as a child.
Of course.
Then now.
And then he was released into a home.
Then they got him around 1994. So the whole 3-4 years, not knowing what's happening. But by the time they got hold of him,
was he okay at the time?
No, he was mentally disturbed. He couldn't even recognize us.
My goodness.
So then they brought him back home. Having to, he was a gentleman. Like he was a gentleman. So now having to witness him like that, somehow, back then we didn't even understand anything about the mental health.
Because we were still small.
Like you never thought that brain was also part. It's like any other organs of the body. It's like, it's this thing that standing on its own. You can't get ahead, cannot be affected. Because now my life started changing then. After he came back, and I got involved in a lot of stuff.
Like how old were you?
I was like 1991. 1991, I was starting primary school. Then obviously, like I was around maybe towards 10 somewhere there, because I think I was doing standard 2 when he came back. Then now he's back. He can't even recognize his own kids.
Can't even recognize you.
You understand? Like, so everything was a mess. And like when you listen to him speak, he's speaking about like he's not in this world anymore. He's not in this world anymore. So we had to make sure that the gate is always locked. We sometimes we will escape, and then we have to run after him. Then take him from one institution to another. Then it disturbed me because as a child I found myself, doing glue.
Now turning into substance abuse.
Yeah, like I skipped school. Then I started doing glue. I was introduced to, cigarette and Zol at a very young age.
Because that was your own coping mechanism of everything that was happening.
And that was, I will leave school home as if like I'm going to school, and I'll find a corner somewhere next to the river, just hide there by myself the whole day.
But tell me now, like what was happening at the time? Like what do you think, if you have to think back, what do you think you were going through? Like were you processing everything as it was happening at the time?
When now I try to go back and using my to-set knowledge now, I can tell that maybe I was, suffering from anxiety. Because now there's a situation, no one is saying anything to you. Just like, oh, okay, things have changed now. Now he's no longer working, and then our mom is not working. So now the more our mom used to,
there's no breadwinner.
There's no breadwinner at home. So we had to start, selling stuff, doing people's gardens. I think while I was still in primary, just to make ends meet. And now our mom was collecting firewood. So meaning after school or during school holidays, weekends, we go to the mountain to help her. So there was no time to play like other kids. So life just turned just like that. So things are just happening. You don't understand what's happening, but you're growing up. Then up until life doesn't stop. Up until I got a job, and at that time, the younger one. Then I became a breadwinner.
So now you're the last born.
I'm the last born now.
And it's like how old were you at the time you started?
When I started working, I think I was 27.
Okay.
So all this time it was safari, moving from one city to another.
So you matriculated?
Yeah, I matriculated.
Then you started?
I started, like I did these security courses, but I was like, I know. Then like I went to sales. Then I did sales, and I was like, this is not for me. Then I was working with these guys from Ghana, like we were selling malls. So I enjoyed it because like I was the middleman, going to different shops, giving them the product and all those things. And then up until I got a job this time.
In Gauteng. Now you're 27. You're in Gauteng.
I'm in Gauteng.
You're getting your first job.
I'm getting my first job now. Then
and life changes at the time.
Life at that time, there's a pressure pillar now. the situation at home, those roundabouts, is bad, no place to sleep. So now I had to, because I remember my first bed at home, I got it from this other family, like what do you call it, like the chickens and everything. They were sleeping on it, so it was filthy and everything. So I had to clean it out, organize, tire rims,
Just to be able to sleep.
yeah. So it was so bad. So can you imagine coming from there? Now you are waking. Okay, it's not that decent, but at least now you can make a good living. Now you start building a house from scratch.
So now you're building a house for your parents.
For my family. Because we three now, we four, it's my mom, my brother, and my sister. My sister is having a daughter. So now I had to build a home for them. So I had, let me build a home for them.
Just like a man.
Just like a man, now taking care of everything.
Yeah.
Now, build a home. Okay, it was nice. Now the situation just changed like that because it was a very beautiful house. So now my brother got a job in 2020 because now I got a job in 2012. Then now he's getting a job in 2020 somewhere there. Then now, you see, we're there now.
So that is your big brother?
Yeah, my big brother. Yeah, because he's a teacher, but he was struggling to get a job. So he got a job very
late. Professional job.
Yeah. So now things are coming right now. Buying nice furniture. Like it's a very lovely, warm home. You see, like when they say God will take you from nothing, put you out there. Now the people now, they no longer calling by name. Hey, Brahim.
No, it always happens. It always happens that now you
yeah, life is good. And then I was like, oh, okay. When my brother got a job, and I was like,
now we can help each other.
Now we can help each other. I can now also start my own family. You understand?
So and that was when you finished building at home.
Like I finished because I started building in 2014. Then around 2018, 19, there was the house was complete and everything. It was just the matter of finishing.
Took like 4 years.
Let me say, 4 years. But like just the structure, putting the ceiling and the tiling and everything. So we're just waiting, like finishing
finish at the home.
To finish at the home, so that at least now
it's a beautiful home.
It's a very beautiful home. So like things were looking proper.
Wow.
But okay, now I can start my own family. Then I paid Lobola.
Wow, and now you have met someone.
Yeah, someone in the future. Yeah, very beautiful someone.
Someone. So you
now we will talk about
that side.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, but this side, how then?
Okay, when you came here to start working.
Yeah, like around 2016, Around 2016, 17. I met someone, and then 2020, 19 December, I paid Lobola because now life is good. Like I have a home that side.
To do the right
I have a home that side. So now I want to start my things this side. Then I paid Lobola. We're staying together now. Then 2021 December, 30 December, it was supposed to be our wedding day actually. So the second week of December 2021 was supposed to. Yeah, 2021. So I was supposed to finalize the Lobola thing and everything.
And then the celebration.
It's a celebration, and then we do the wedding thing. Everything is paid. Life is good. And then life happened. And my sister was married to this guy. They were married. They were staying somewhere around the village not far from our home. From home. Then things were not okay. So we're like between them. So she decided to come home. They were like, come back home.
So they were married, staying together.
Staying to 4 years, yeah.
And then now things are not working out. Your sister decided to come
home. Yeah. Because like the situation was bad. So that at least now she'll be able to take her for mom. Then she came back home. So like we're one big family. We're doing well. Everything's okay. They're happy that things are
shaping up.
They are shaping up. August, I remember very well. I was at work in my office, but that day, like when your spirit, you can tell you don't have energy to do anything. It was around 9. I'm like, today I don't feel like working. I'm tired. And 11, I was like,
you could send something.
No, man, I'm going home. I didn't even tell anyone actually. Just said I'm going home. Then I didn't have a car then. I called this other friend of mine. Please take me to the taxi rank. As he was about to drop me there, then we started a conversation. And then I received a call from my woman to say, hey, but your house is burning at home. Just got a call.
Sure.
They're looking for you because like now I'm working.
It's not far from where?
It's not that far, but maybe like a 12 minutes drive. But now, where I'm working is like a security place. Like I'm working for one of the departments. So cell phones are not allowed inside. So it's difficult for people to get hold of you.
To get hold of you. Yes.
So now
they contacted your wife.
My wife, yeah.
Yes.
Then okay, but your phone, your house is burning. I'm like, is everyone okay? And then I'm like, yeah, it looks like everyone is okay. Then I knew my mom wasn't home then. She visited to this other family. There was funeral, so yeah. Then I called my brother. Then I got hold of him. Then I called my niece, got hold of him. Now I can't I can't get hold of my sister.
Your sister, yeah.
Then, because my friend decided to drive me home, because we could tell now, I'm not okay. Then I called my neighbors, this lady, to say, what's happening?
What is going on?
Like, where's my sister? I'm more worried now about my sister. Where's my sister?
Why are you worried particularly about your sister?
I can't get hold of her. Like, the house is burning. I can get hold of everyone else, but now I want to hear her voice so that I can know that everyone is safe.
Everyone is safe.
Yes.
The house is burning, but
it's okay. The house is burning. It's okay. And back home, we hardly insure our houses, so it's a loss. And now 1.6 down the drain, just like that.
Sure.
So now, but I'm more like life. As for a house, you can recover, but lives now. Can't get hold of my sister. Then I
what
get a
is
call.
the neighbor saying? Your contract?
No, my son. Then I knew, great, it's a car. Something is not right here. Then now, as I was approaching my home, I got a call. My niece is the one calling me. Uncle, just found a body.
They found
the body, yeah. But this body is of a man. And this man looks like my father. Then I knew, oh, the guy, they were not in good terms. Simple mystery, he's not staying at my home. Now he came to my house. So the only relationship that is having a car is my sister, because my sister was not working. So now a simple mystery, if they found him.
No. Let's backtrack a bit. They found a body in the house.
In the house. And in my bedroom.
In your bedroom. Yeah. So the house has burned down.
It's burned down. It's still burning. So they tried, they called, this fire, the community. Yeah. So, but then they had to break my butler so that
they can access.
So, because that part of my room, it was not bad.
Yeah.
But then they had to break my butler so that they can peep through and check what's happening. So they found him there.
They found him.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're like, they found the body.
Whose body was it?
Then I'm like, whose body is dead? Then she was like, yeah, it's my father. Like, oh God. I was like, hey, this guy killed my sister now. I just told my friend, right, that guy killed my sister. Later on, she called me and she's so brave. And she's calling me, updating me.
Your niece?
My niece. When I got home, I decided to pack my stuff. My brother in Pichora is calling me, like my brother from Babamnan is calling me to say, boy, they knew now the story, but
you didn't know you didn't know at the time. They got
like, all the we coming to fetch you. But then my wife was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll drive you. We will meet them somewhere at the first toll gate. Because when they were coming from Orchard, and then they waited for us there. Then there was no we were going to drive. So my brother's wife and then drove my wife's car. And then I went to be with my brother.
Yes, in the other car.
In the other car. Then yeah, we traveled. No, but before that, while still at home packing stuff, my friend called me from home. It's like, hey boy, I'm sorry about your sister. Like what I say, it's like, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh God.
So now you're in the car, you're driving.
No. Before I left, I sorry. Before I left, I was still at home.
Okay.
And then he called me to say, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm like, what? What loss now?
What is going on?
I'm really sorry. We didn't know. Like your sister is God. Oh God.
Sure.
So
at the time, was he telling you, announcing, or was he thinking
it's a
that
friend. He thought that I
know?
know. He thought that I know, and I didn't know.
Especially this is what happens these days. People just call you and start sharing the news. Whether you know, you don't know, people
We don't
don't.
know.
People don't check first.
And you see, like those are your people, so they think we're obvious now. They informed you, so they're like, we want to be there for our boy.
Yes.
You understand?
They want to be the first one to call to say
to check
we've heard.
we have heard and we're sorry. And that's how I took it. Like, oh God, I cried.
Right.
I cried so bad. Like it was so bad. Now the house. What will this do to my mom? That was my worry. Obviously, like it's gonna be a mess. No.
Now you're even thinking about your mother.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about yourself.
Yeah. I'm young. I will see. But my mom now, like, what will happen to her? Then we go home around 12 a.m.
You left here a little bit late.
Yeah. Got home very late, and then I could tell my mom was in this roundabout. It was more of a storage now. There were no even tiles because we removed the tiles. We wanted to renovate it just to be in G. So now back to square zero. Then seeing my house now. Okay.
And then when you got home, but before that, let's talk about the trip from Gauteng to home.
There was nothing to talk about. It was quiet.
Quiet in the car. Everyone was quiet.
Yeah. Because my brother now, he didn't know that I'm aware that my sister is late. So he's trying now to, but I know.
To conceal that.
Yeah, to conceal until I get home.
Wrong, yes.
That's the only time I told him when he got home. But no, by the way, I'm aware that Togo is gone. Who told you? But no, this is what happened. So when we got home, there's no place to sleep. Then we went to my brother's place. So now we need to organize a funeral without a home. And now they can't release the body because of the DNA because she burned beyond cognition. So what happened is he got home, he killed her. After killing her, he poured petrol on her.
So the husband to your sister, followed her
at home
to your home,
and he knew that she's alone because he called my niece earlier on. She was at school. But who's home? And then she was like, no, my mom is home alone. He knew that my brother is at work. Then my mom wasn't around because he called my mom a day before to say, can I see you? I want a meeting. Then my mom was like, no, let's do it on Saturday. I'll be home on Saturday.
It kind of looked like they want to fix things between the two of them. Then and your mother said it's okay.
We can come. You can come Saturday to see me. I'll be home Saturday. Then Yana, he went home day before Saturday, Friday. Then he knew that she's alone at home.
So where was your mother at the time?
She was at the funeral somewhere.
Oh, she was not at home.
Her sister's son's house.
Oh, now she knew that your sister was home alone.
Then he got there. Then, because like when they show the footage, he went to the garage, she bought a petrol. Then they went to my home.
Oh, so when he went to the garage to buy petrol, then went straight
to my home.
And then what happened?
We don't know. We were not there, but then we do the investigations and everything. They found that he killed her. Then after killing her, he burnt her. It was a body. He burnt her. He didn't burn the house. He burnt her, and the house caught fire. Then he tried to run, but now he took the wrong passage, and then he ended up in my room. Because like our house was big, so he took the wrong passage and found himself in my room.
And what happened there? Did he got stuck?
He got stuck, smoke inhalation. Because he was in that bed.
So he also burned?
He also burned.
But he survived?
He died.
He died. So that person who called you to say there's the body of a man in the house?
That was my niece, my sister's daughter.
But this body was your sister's husband?
But then he tried to run.
Yeah, he tried
Then,
to
because like
escape
he was covering himself with a blanket, but now the intensity of the fire was too strong.
because it's petrol. And when you got there, like, how was the situation? How was the house like?
It was bad, so bad.
That house that you built with so much sacrifices, and it's all bent down. And
Now we have to organize a funeral without a home. Having to deal with the police, media, because the story was all over.
so
On
that
TV
the
and
story
everything.
caught the attention of.
Like it was even on TV.
My goodness. And who came to support you at the time? I'll guess that
luckily,
everyone in the whole
like
community.
like now the community was very supportive. My sister's friends, high school friends, yeah, were very supportive. Yeah, and also my brother. Since we went home, he didn't go back. He had to take leave just like that, and he was there with us for about 3 weeks.
If you're comfortable with me asking, like, what was the condition at the time when what was the condition of your sister when you got to the house? Was she still there?
No. Remember, we got home around 12 a.m. midnight, so she was no longer home. They took care. The body was already taken.
And did you ever go to what? I wouldn't even say identify.
Yeah, I did that.
You went
It was so bad, horrible, beyond recognition. Even a dog, like the dog, like it was so bad.
Sure.
Like when you see a dog maybe hit by a car and the other cars coming overheat over and over. Yeah, like the condition was so bad. There was no flesh.
And how was that like? Just staring at.
Traumatic.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. Like the thing is, before that, remember we had now to fight for the DNA. Almost like it's only the government that can issue death certificate.
Of course.
So now,
Everything
the process, everything now, you need to wait. And even now, we haven't received the results from the government. Then we had to go the private route, hiring like a private pathologist. And still, the private pathologist, they will need the government's approval.
Okay, to investigate.
to do the DNA. You can't just do it without the government having to approve it. And for the government to approve it, still is a mission.
The government. And then what happens next? Now is the week of the funeral.
We're tired to such a point whereby third week they go to after fighting so much. Because remember what they did, the police department in our province, what they did when they announced the situation on radio and Radio 24, they said that the deceased was identified as Tokoro Kojo. And then now they're saying that we need to identify the body. Then now I asked them, like I asked the station commissioner of the province to say, I understand, but where with your office, you said that the body is identified as Tokoriko. So how did you get there? How did you identify it? And then you went on national TV and radio to say that the person who died is identified as Tokoriko. But now you cannot give the records of families a body. Then they realized that they made a mistake. So that's how they were able to help us just to close their mess.
So they help you to do the DNA.
To approve. Yeah. To grant us the approval.
And now, but I just want to go back just a little bit. I want to find out from you, were you not able, did you not have an option not to see the body, to identify the body, because DNA would have done everything?
And remember, DNA, and it's when you go fetch your body, like a day before the burial, from the government mortuary, then now you're handing over the body to your own private mortuary. as a member of the family, you need to be there to sign out the body to say you confirm that the body that they're taking is that one of your sister. So you have to be there. And now it is bad because my brother already he was home because he was called from school to say, hey, situation is bad. So when everything's happened, finding the bodies, he was there. He already saw all the things. So he couldn't take it anymore.
Sure. Your brother. What did you see? Did you see her trying to fight?
No, like when remember by the time they came home, already things were done because the neighbor saw the fire and everything, but the fire was too much. So my brother was called from school. He's working somewhere else. Then he had to, take a taxi back home. By the time he got home, everything was done.
So nobody was able to see or to try and rescue or to think there might be someone in the house.
They only heard like some say a gunshot.
Sure. So what you still suspect actually is that he might have shot your sister before she said the.
Yeah, but we couldn't find the gun. The police couldn't find the gun.
On the scene.
Yeah, but the media was saying there was like the neighbors saying they had a gunshot. It was a whole lot of things.
So nothing like that was ever confirmed.
Yeah.
And now is the week of the funeral. You go to identify and what? Then now hand over the body to the
mortuary. Yeah.
And then how did you now organize the whole funeral without like a proper structure, like a home, like people coming for prayers, like how?
Using tents. It was a mess because my brother was sleeping somewhere. I was sleeping somewhere else. So people would come to our home in the morning. We're not there because we're not sleeping at home. We just got there in the morning from where we're sleeping because we had to organize some stuff.
So someone pitched a tent at home.
Yeah, we organized tents and then like 2 tents so that at least when people come, then they'll be able to assemble them.
But now looking back, like that day, like how did you get the strength to just go through that terrible week? Like how did you survive?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. How did you survive that whole week?
It was bad. It was. I don't know. If I tell you, I don't know. I think the inner strength, God doing it, giving me the strength. It was like I can't say taking it one day at a time. It was
too much, all at once.
1 minute at a time. You're not sure about the next hour. You're only focusing on now. And sometimes people say take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
But some situations, like check people who are at like ICU, like the doctors are checking them like more often, like maybe after every few minutes. But there are those ones like once a day is okay when the doctors are doing their rounds. But in our situation, it was like 1 hour at a time. You don't plan for the next 2 hours. You plan only for now because the strength, Jay, you don't have strength, but you're just soldiering on. Right? I have to do this. And it is bad now. Remember going to the police station, to the mortuary, you coming home now, people are asking when are you going to conduct the funeral? Because this thing happened on the 20th of August. And then it was Friday. And then the next week, at least people want to know what's happening. The families are calling to say, when are you having the funeral? You don't know. Then you have to come back home now. You tell your mom, hey, you don't know when you're going to bury your daughter. The chances they are saying the DNA can take 3 months. So you can't bury your daughter. So now you have to come up with a plan. I remember with my brothers, we had to park the car somewhere. Not knowing what to say, like calling pastors. No one was available. Can you come so that we can go home with us so that we'll be able to tell our mom that we failed to get a body. So we don't know when she will be able to bury his daughter.
So even the church was not there to support you?
Let me tell you something, how do I say this? Like when things are bad, the church will be there somewhere praying. At that time, we don't need prayers. You need them being there with you.
Being with you physically.
And sometimes it makes you believe that, the reason maybe Jesus, when he started his ministry, he didn't go to church to look for disciples. He had to go to the oceans, the marketplace to organize with Dr. Luke. He had to go to find what Peter was fishing. We don't know why he did that. He was coming from prayer. He didn't go to church to look for Abazalo and to start the ministry with him to be part of. But so.
But did you have a church like a pastor who was like the family go to church? They knew everything was happening, but they didn't come.
It's difficult.
No, I need to understand. So the church didn't support you.
The church is no longer the same. Back then, Jesus was feeding 5,000 plus people, but now 5,000 plus people are feeding one person. The truth that we don't talk about is one man's show. A church now, if I go to church looking proper, they're going to welcome me. Then when I don't look proper, they don't need me. Then one thing that I've learned as well, that the devil will always attack you at the point and level of your anointing. Because you have to understand that if I'm a football player, the devil will not come for my gift.
Yeah.
That doesn't benefit him anything. It comes for my league because it's going to stop me from participating.